Welcome to Soul Led Lifestyle Podcast with me, Adele McCoy, and my magical guests, giving you the strategy, tools, and activation you'll need to create your soul-led life. Hey guys, and welcome to another session of Soul Led Lifestyle with me, Adele McCoy. And today I have the wonderful Caralisa Bailey on to join me. And for those of you that don't know Caralisa, she is my spirit sister and literally just magical. I'm going to hand it over to you so that she can tell you a bit about herself. But we are doing a powerful portal session tonight. So yes, I know that a lot of you know about Powerful Portal. We've brought it over here to the podcast. We channel our messages and our message for you guys for the session, and we also do a meditation. So I'm going to hand you over to Caralisa so she can tell you a little bit about herself for those of you that don't know her, and then we'll just dive in from there.
Hi Adele, hi community. Thank you for that beautiful, beautiful introduction. So for those of you who've never joined into one of our powerful portals, or it's the first time you're listening, as Adele said, we was doing this before. And yeah, we're just going to bring this magic to you. So just a little about me. I'm Caralisa Bailey. I am a spiritual self-love and self-confidence coach and mentor. And we bring all the magic together, get the foundation, get to the root, which for me is always about self-love, and we build from there. So today, our channeled conversation will just come as it comes. I hope you enjoy listening to us because it's absolutely beautiful. Adele is my spirit sister, and the chemistry and the alchemy that's between us, we'll get into that in further and future sessions. But yeah, it's amazing the things that we're doing and that Adele does. And yeah, how are you guys? How is everybody listening in? How is your week so far? We just, like I said, just get comfortable and just listening to us.
Yeah, and we're going to start with a lovely meditation just to start off our session to get you guys in the zone. I think Caralisa's going to do that one for us.
Yeah, so let's just get nice and comfortable. You can sit up and just get really straight, close your eyes, wriggle about a bit and just get all those, that stagnant energy. Yeah, wriggle it all about and just be present for this moment. And I just invite you to take a nice deep breath in and release it. And again, inhale and then exhale. And on the last one, I want you to hold. So inhale, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. And I'd just like you to imagine you being in a beautiful field. And when you look all around you and you smell the smells of nature and you're just really connected to this beautiful, beautiful area. It's so expansive, you can't see where it ends. As you turn around, it's just endless amount of abundance of connecting with nature. But I invite you just to walk on the path that's ahead of you. And then there's a nice seat waiting for you. As you get closer, I just want you to, every step, just take something off. Any weights that's surrounding your current situation or something that you've been thinking about heavily over this week or whenever you're listening to this. Just want you just to release it as you take each step. So as you get closer, you'll feel lighter to this bench and you'll take a seat. And on the left hand side of you, you'll see a bright crystal. It's a green, beautiful, dazzling crystal. You're even asking yourself, how did I not see this before? But this light and this crystal energy is just there for you at the right time. It's there for you to soak in all that energy, and you feel like the energy is coming from the left hand side of you, going up your arm, going down your torso, into your leg, and coming up your right hand side. As though this energy is just flowing, it's releasing down through the left, and it's receiving up through the right. And you can feel this tingly sensation all over you as this energy travels around you in this circle of motion. And then it hits your throat chakra, and it goes upward to your third eye and to your crown. And you release this energy through your crown, and it creates a beautiful green bubble all around you. And you stand up and you feel as though you're pushing this green bubble all out into this field, this fielded area. And you're connecting with Mother Nature as you do so. And you find a spot where you're just standing so still. And you can see the energy that you've pushed out and how far and how endless it is. And you stand grounded. And you know that you're receiving all that there is around you, and you're protected and you're safe. And you start calling this energy back, and this energy enters through your crown, and it comes all the way down and aligns all of your chakras. And it pushes down through your legs, and it continues to ground you. And as it touches your soles of your feet, it emerges through the ground that you're standing on. And this energy is there just to let you know that you're connected with all that there is. And you're connected with nature, and you're grounded. And at this moment, I'd just like to take a deep breath in, breathe in this energy that you're surrounding, and just release it into your bubble. And you feel that, just fill the bubble around you, and that you're just taking in all of this energy. And you walk back over to the bench where the green crystal is, and you pick it up. And you continue to walk with this energy and your vibration just expanding as you do so. And as you walk back down the path in which you entered, you're getting more familiar with your surroundings, and you're extracting all of the energy from the crystal, and it's keeping you strong and safe. And you're taking this with you. And for the next 3 steps, you're really grasping hold of this energy and keeping it within and retaining it. And every step 1, 2, 3. And I'd like you just to stand still and wriggle your fingers and wriggle your toes and get familiar with the energy around you in the area that you're in. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And I'd like to say that the energy of the children is just amazing. And honestly, and it just brought, like, it just made me just connect straight away. Because if you tuned into us on the last session, we spoke about change. And one of the things, and I'm sure that many people who are listening in can relate to is having children around you. If you're a home educator like myself and Adele, because that's another hat that we both wear, so to speak, sometimes we can get caught up in our feelings of how things should be and forget that everything is beautiful and everything is divine. So if you was listening in and you heard the children in the background, you soak in that energy because it was all for you. We have to remember to be childlike. And that's where I guess the resistance, going back to, or just adding on to the last topic, the resistance of change for me sometimes is not being childlike. Because when you're childlike, you're fearless.
Mm.
There is no fear. You step in your power every day. You challenge those around you. And I'd like to know, like, out of the viewers, who sees themselves in their children? Who sees themselves in their children? And I'd like to ask you, Adele, what parts of you, the parts that you're willing to share, you know, do you see in
um,
your children
there
that
is
you know they've
definitely,
come for you to change?
oh, that they've
Not
come for
change,
me
not
to change.
not not for you to change them. They're holding up that mirror.
Hmm.
They're holding up that mirror, and you're like, yeah, I think I need to be a bit more like that.
Oh, I see, I see, I see. Okay. Um, well, like they're very much free spirited, as you can hear in the background. um, but there's elements of each of my children that I can pull from that. Um, my my eldest child, she is definitely the freest spirit, and she doesn't care about anything. And I think now I don't care about anything now, but there was a time when I did. So I think that that element of her I've kind of pulled in and
Yeah,
seen it has it really doesn't matter. You can just be who you want to be. People are gonna either love you or hate you, and that's fine. It's fine to be okay with that. Um, she
that's
teaches
so
me that.
beautiful.
Yeah, she
So
teaches me
beautiful.
that quite a lot. And my son Tristan, he's a little bit more laid back and chilled, and things don't really phase him. And yeah, that bit, I've got that as well. I've pulled that in. Um,
Yeah,
just remembering that it's okay to just like little things that amuse a lot of people just don't amuse him. He's just like, okay, all right.
okay.
He's very quiet. What's the word? Don't want to say like solemn, but it has to be something really huge for him to be like, oh wow, really? So I guess in little things, I really take my time and feel into the energy of something. So something that might make you totally crack up and in tears, there's a reason why you felt that, and I will look for that. Do you understand? Even if I don't
Yes.
initially
Yeah.
find it funny, I'll be like, okay, there's something about this that she found funny. Let me just take time and just look into that. And there's the deepness, and that's what Tristan has. He has that whole deepness. He wants to understand what the big deal was. Do you understand? So there's part of him there. And then I say with the three little ones, they're still quite young, but just having their just excitement for life every day, you know?
Yes.
Um, and again, that is something that I have drawn in because I think it's because of what I do. I think if I wasn't a spiritual teacher, I think that I wouldn't be as open to all of that, seeing all of those things and being as aware. That said, I believed at one point, I think I shared this with you before, Carolissa, that I thought I was a certain type of child. And then through talking to my mum and my auntie, quickly established that I was a lot like my daughters. And they're, for those, that might know them, they're very much all singing, all dancing, all performing, want to be center
Yeah.
of attention. But yet, if you was to have asked me, a few months ago, oh, how was you at that age? I'd be like, oh, I was really quiet, reserved, observed everything. But then you'd ask my mum and my aunties, and they were like, no, like Ava Grace, that's you. Tian when she was younger, that's you. You know, so yeah, it's funny that my perspective of what I remembered myself to be was totally different. And then what I then realized is what I had connected it with was my teenage self. Because kids change, don't they? When they're in
Yes.
primary school age, they're who they are. They're free, they've got courage, they've got confidence. And then they go to secondary school and then they're highly influenced by all their peers. And through that, even though I was that all singing and dancing child, I then became more reserved because there was bigger personalities than me. So then I
Hmm.
became kind of more sensible, the sensible, quiet, observant one. And so what I'd then done is I correlated that to the whole of my childhood. That's how I must have been.
Hmm.
And it took my family and looking at some pictures of myself back then to realize, oh my gosh, I wasn't. You know, I need to bring that Adele fully out, back out.
Yes.
So I feel that
Yeah.
that's probably the thing that I'm working on currently, just really bringing that all singing, dancing, performing,
Mhm.
center of attention in a nice way, not center of attention in a horrible way, um, back to the
But
forefront.
basking in your energy, basking in your confidence.
Yes,
Because
yes.
this is something that I teach because we got conditioned to believe that if we were good at something, if we loved something, and we spoke about it or we danced about it or we whatever, however we chose to express it, then you're big-headed or you're egotistic. There was words that were put on, so we kind of shied away in society. You see that, you shy away and you think, well, I don't want people to think I'm too big-headed. But no,
Mm,
you have to step in your confidence, you
yeah.
know. And I guess that's kind of the alchemy of why we met, because for those of you that don't know, I've got 5 children too, and Adele's children, with all the way she describes them of the singing and dancing, is very much the way I was. I loved performing arts, absolutely, absolutely loved it. So, and that's just because I could be me. And I want people to always feel like they can just be them in their expression, in their art.
Yeah.
Perform your art because every day is beautiful. But we get like in the 9 to 5 and the routines that don't always serve us right.
Yeah.
And that can trigger the resistance that we was talking about in the last session with change. Because we get, like you said, you go to secondary school, you start forming different choices about yourself based on the people around you. And we're quite lucky that we found ourselves in that. We went through that conditioning, but we found ourselves through spirit and our grounding and, you know, through our experiences.
Mm-hmm.
We've been able to embrace things differently. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful that children, and for me, all of my children, I see a different side of me that I need to embrace.
Mm-hmm.
Or they came at a time where I needed to do something different. So my first daughter, she's very, very much like me. She's, you know, she's out there. She'll speak. She'll dance. She'll have a joke. She giggles a lot. She reminds me that laughter is my medicine because that is what I like to do. I like to laugh and we kiki and we
Yeah. Yeah.
we we find jokes out and jokes and jokes. But that's for another episode, um, another episode, another season. The
Yeah.
jokes of Caralisa and Adele, that should be called. Um, but my son, my second child, he was um, a non-verbal communicator for such a long time. When I say 2 years, that at that point in my life, I realised that I'd kind of shut my throat chakra down, and I had to work on it. And then my third child came along and he ignited that throat chakra. He gave me quantum leaps into igniting my throat chakra till I'm having to balance it because he is the throat chakra. That's all I can explain him as. Just to be simple. And then my fourth child, she reminds me of self love. She came out, not
Love in
literally,
human
but
form.
yeah, just loving herself. Like, I am beautiful. She reminds me
Yeah.
to affirm to myself and have the confidence. Um, and then baby, I can't really say about him just yet because he's only one, but it's amazing how the people around us reflect. And I know that not all viewers will have children, but you may have a child or even sisters, siblings, friendships that will do the same. They reflect, they hold up the mirror and they show you what it is that you need to change or embrace. It's still a change.
Yeah.
Um, Change hasn't got to have a negative associated with it, like you're in lack, because that's not necessarily. It might be a reminder, and that's
Yeah.
kind of how we've discussed it in the past, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Um, like, how much do you, I said, because people will then ask, well, how do you connect to your inner child? Like you said, if you don't have children around you, how do you see that side? I would just say sit with yourself and think about how you was as a child. And if you have photos, pictures, anything, video footage even of you as a child, take a look at it, bask in that energy of who you were as that young child and understand you. And like, imagine being your friend back then, your young
Mm,
friend back then. How would you communicate with yourself? Like, and I think when you can do that, you'll understand who you were as a child and maybe what's lacking now. That because we're still the same person inside.
yes,
We're still that
yes,
same person with the same big dreams and
yes,
imagination, but it's just different
yeah.
now because we've grown up. So it's
And
not all about like
responsibility.
and responsibility. So it's not
Hmm.
all about slaying dragons and being princesses. It's more about, like all the big goals that we might have and stuff like that. It's all there within us. And if we was a child that was quiet and reserved and maybe didn't really have a huge imagination, you'll probably find that you're pretty much the same now.
Mm,
But with growth and certain situations that you may have been through, that may have changed slightly, but underneath it all, you're still that same person,
yeah.
Like just going back on what I was saying about being more the young Adele, the 7 year old Adele, that 7 year old Adele, you would be seeing all over social media all the
Mm,
time. I'd be wanting to talk to everyone all the time,
yes,
going
yes,
live all the time. And
yes, yeah.
yeah, and that's something that I would say could possibly, I don't want to call it a struggle because I don't think it's a struggle because I will go live, I will do my thing. But it's one of the things that I will shy away from more in my business. Like I will find other ways of showing up instead of putting myself there, you know? And I feel that
Mm,
that is a huge thing for me. So, like I said, I'm working on that bridge now to get that bridge back to how it needs to be, so that I can be me and be the center of my world again. Um, so, yeah, people will be seeing a lot more of me. I feel like the dolls
yeah,
everywhere
and
every
I want to
minute.
attach. I would just want to touch, should I say, on the part where you said about the inner child. There was something that I just wanted to drop for the listeners and go back 10, 20 years. Go back to your teenage years and the music that you liked.
Mm.
This is a little gem for you guys out there. Go back to, if you can find 3 songs, 4 songs, 5 songs, and play them back to back and see what your body does. Just be free.
Yeah.
You'll be doing moves that you were doing back then, and you'll be like, okay, the back's hurting a little bit, but I remember this. You will
Yeah.
ignite something within you. It will bring
Yeah.
back some memories. You will start feeling a different way because you'll have that energy. So you're
Yeah.
pushing her
It's,
forwards. You're
uh-huh.
pushing inner child forwards. If you can go back to your younger years, then that's even better. But I say
Mhm.
teenage years because a lot of people would have made choices of their own music and
Mhm.
possibly not family music,
Yeah, yeah.
or guardianship music. But even so, music will still ignite you. Doesn't matter what the memory is.
It's so
Try and go for the
true.
positive ones, of
Yeah.
course, to keep your vibration high.
Mhm.
Revisit the ones that are not so positive when you feel like you need to look at something, maybe. But go back and find that young person, because I was putting on some tunes the other day and I was like, okay, I remember being at school, like, you
Yeah.
know, I remember these moves, and
Yeah.
doing my
But
thing,
it's
and
so
then
funny because yeah, because music, I find that music does that anyway. I'm not shy. I wouldn't say I was shy. But music is something that will you'll always see the true me come out because I can't sit down when music
yeah,
comes on. I can't be quiet and reserved. And that is just me. I've always loved music. I always have to dance. I'm always the last one on the dance floor. And I've got an eclectic ear. I will listen to most songs as well, most music. I find music just beautiful. um, so yeah, like literally what Caralissa said, just listening back. For me, it's like the old school jungle and House of Garage. They were like when I hear anything from those times, it just takes me back to being like 13, 14, and you know, just takes me,
and
just catapults me there. And I'm just in my kitchen doing my dances. My kids are like, Mum, what are you doing? It's like, you're singing to the tune. you know,
and
what needs to
comment
be done?
below, or comment, or get at us and
Yeah,
tell us what that experience was. So that's your gem. Get
yeah.
some music that reminds you of happy times and
Mm-hmm.
take it from there. Because her or he, or the person you was that listened to that, then you're going to be like, okay, this is where the inspiration comes. It's going to ignite something. You're going to remember that feeling. You're going to remember, oh, I can move.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe that will kickstart some new goal.
yeah.
I was thinking to myself, I need to be like, a bit fitter, because she could do these dances and I can't do these dances, right?
yeah.
So that's my gap. So that's what I need to work on.
yeah.
Yeah. But I can work on it with love and compassion with myself, because there's no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a realization that happened because the music just made me bring back to a time to remind myself, yeah, you love to dance.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because my son said to me today, I don't even know what I was doing in the kitchen. I was hardly doing anything. And he was like, you used to be a good dancer when you was younger. And I was thinking, I'm still young. What do you mean when I was younger? But again, he
yeah.
reminded me, like,
Yeah.
go back. And I put music on straight away. And I was like, yes,
Uh-huh.
I needed to get back in touch with her and
Yeah.
bring my creativity from that place. So I'm
Exactly.
leaving that gem with you guys.
For
If you
sure.
want to know how to embrace your changes, get back. Take a step back. Go back in the time zone,
Mm-hmm.
the time warp, and do
Yeah.
your thing. And just remember
Exactly.
those dreams, because there's times in life, like you said, we're still the same person, but responsibility, bad
Mm.
experiences, things that we can't control, whether that's death, whether that's breakups, whether that's, things that have happened that we've been a part of, that has taken parts away from us at times.
Mm-hmm.
You know that music's the healer,
Mm-hmm.
the ultimate healer.
It truly is. And just also just on the back of that, it's try and live your life like your 7-year old self. You know,
Oh yes,
if
that's
you
juicy.
can wake up every day
Mm-hmm.
and try and be like your 7-year old self, not a care, not a worry, not caring about what you look like or what you're even wearing. Mum's getting you dressed, dad's getting you, whoever's caring for you is getting you ready. You don't care. You just want to make sure that you've got food to eat and you're happy,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and you're in the right company and you've got things keeping you occupied in whatever way, and live life like that, because every day will be different, because
Mm-hmm.
as youngsters are, they're different every day, and it will feel fresh because you're going back to a time when you was young and fresh, You know,
Yeah.
don't be afraid of opening that door. And I know, like, for some of you, you might think back to that time and it may not have been the greatest time of your life.
Mm.
And you may have, you know, boundary there that you don't really want to go into. And that's okay. Go back as far as you can where you feel like a happier time. There must have been one, even one happier time in your life, your childhood that you could think of.
One happy song, one
One
happy
happy
memory from a
song,
song.
happy
Yeah.
memory, whatever it is, a friend from that time that highlights something for you, you know, whatever it is, just really take your time, like be a child again. I think people are so caught up on being perfect that actually
Yeah.
it's becoming really imperfect because it's kind of like, you know, we're becoming such a society where we're like so caught up in these little things, like, and this is what keeps us stuck and this is what stops us from moving forward because we're so concerned by the little minute things that we don't want to move forward. Like, there's so many things I could go through, but just like even like doing a live, making sure that your hair's right and this is right and that's right before you go live, making sure, like Caralisa was saying about the children, like that can't be helped. I live with children. I have 5 of them, and four of them are at home. So there may be noise. I can't be caught up in those little things because I won't do it. I'll just be like, you know what? I can't record a podcast. I can't ever go live because one of my kids might come in or, you know, whatever. It will stop you. We're so caught up in making everything perfect. Don't worry about making things perfect. You know, there's a time and a place, and maybe you will get to a time and place where you're able to have everything staged and perfect how you dream. But for now, just take the leap, take the step, and just do the
Yes.
small things. And it doesn't matter if it's
Hmm.
imperfect. Be that child in front of the camera. Be that child who's talking your truth. Be that child who's whatever it is that you're doing, like wanting to share your thoughts with a friend or someone that you may have been eyeing up that you want to talk to and you don't feel brave enough. What would a child do? They would just go directly to the person and say, I really like you. Will you be my girlfriend? Will you be my boyfriend? Whatever.
Yeah.
They're not going to care. Like,
And have
be
some of
that
your Chris.
child. Can I have some of your Chris? I'll give you some of
Yeah.
mine. You know, like, just be that child. And because you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain,
No,
you know?
no.
So, yeah.
And I love that you touched on that because I know that we'll be wrapping up soon, but I hope this has resonated with you guys listening. But the inspired action,
Yeah.
we spoke about the change and the resilience, and in this session we spoke about the inspired action. And I want you to go and do that inspired action. Go and
Mm-hmm.
listen to that music and step from there. Step
Mm-hmm.
in that energy because, like Adele said, there may be unpleasant trees, but there's got to be something that you can step from. There's going to be a time that you felt that energy, you know, you was at the peak of your life, so to speak, because you just didn't even know what it was about. So you had dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace those dreams because that's the path that I'm on. So the conversations that we have, as much as they're channeled, they're authentic because that's where we've had to take ourselves back.
Yeah.
And we've had conversations in relation to this. We've had to take ourselves back and just want to leave that gem with you people, you know, you beautiful community, anybody that listens to this, take that inspired action
Mm-hmm.
and take
Sure.
it with love and
You won't
just
regret it.
leap, just
Yeah.
leap.
Just
And a
leap
leap
and you
may
will
look like a
fly.
baby step, but you take many baby steps and that's a big leap.
Exactly. And you're much further ahead than what you was before
Yeah.
taking the leap, you know. So
uh,
definitely go for it. But no, I hope this has resonated with you, and please reach out and share your thoughts around the subject today. We'd love to know. Um thank you so much for taking the time out to listen to us today on the Powerful Portal. And yeah, Carolissa, do you want to let everyone know how they can find you?
yeah, so you can find me on Facebook. You can add me as a friend, Caralisa Bailey, or you can find me on Instagram, Magic Alchemist Vibes. And I've also got a private community, so we can talk about that. And I can guide you through that and it's on Facebook at the moment. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. And if there's been anything that's been triggering with the inner child, I can assure you that you can reach out to Adele and you can do some of the soul led sessions.
Yeah.
And because we did touch on it, and I just want people to know that you don't have to be on your own if it's been painful, and
Mm.
you can sit with somebody, a mentor, and decode some of the things and feel confident and supported through that process. If you're unable to go back as far, or you go back and you find something that you think, oh, I need some help here. I don't want anybody in the community, anybody listening, to feel that there
Mm.
isn't people around
Yes.
that you can invest in and you can do the work with. But this is a gem that we're leaving with you today,
Definitely.
something that you can do on your own. And reach out to us. We'd like to hear from you.
Yeah,
I do
definitely.
mentorship as well. So, there's always options. There's always beautiful people out there that you can resonate with, and go through that process and go back to that 7-year-old and
Yeah.
do the inner child.
You're
And
never alone. You're never alone. There's
never,
always someone, you know.
never.
And like Carolissa said, you're quite welcome to reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram as Adele McCoy, or you can hop onto my website, which is www.adelmccoy.com. On there, there's a list of all my services and how I may be able to help you. So just have a look through there, have a browse. And if you've got any questions, there's a section where you can ask me a question. So yeah, just don't be a stranger. And yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. And thanks for inviting me again. It's been a beautiful, beautiful
That's all right,
session.
my love. And
Love
till the
it.
next time, take care and speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.